Welcome to Sunny Days and Diapers, Unfiltered Motherhood. I'm Alex, and I'm so happy to be here chatting with you about all things parenting, mental health, and everything in between. From the diaper blowouts to those little moments of pure sunshine that remind us why it's all worth it, we'll be diving deep into real stories and heartfelt insights every single month. Whether you're surviving sleepless nights or chasing big dreams in between those nap times, this space is for you. A place where you can feel seen, heard, and understood. So grab your coffee or your favorite drink, take a deep breath, because Sunny Days and Diapers is where every parent's story matters. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sunny Days and Diapers. We are so excited for today's episode where I have a really good friend of mine, Sabrina, joining in to talk a little bit about her experience in motherhood and just share funny stories and just kind of hang out for a little bit tonight. And I think we can kind of jump right in. Sabrina is a fellow mom and a friend of mine, and I think we've met how long ago, Sabrina? Maybe
I wanna say, because I started going to like your church, like, around 2017. That's
yeah.
when I started going, and then, like, I met you, I met Sebastian, I met everyone
So
else.
it's what, 8 years? Almost, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
almost like
right?
10.
Oh my god, my
Wow.
math my math is, like, not.
And when did you and Robert start dating?
So I actually met Robert in high school. Like I knew of him freshman year, ninth grade, but then I didn't really like get to know him until my senior year of high school is when I actually had like that free period that some people call it. Like we were in aid for the sports director. So we would be the ones like collecting the bagel money and like going around and like giving the bagels.
The
So
fun job. I
yeah,
used to love those people.
yeah, we would sell slushies and all that. So it
Yeah.
was literally just like me, him, and one other girl, and it would just be, like, us 3, but then as, like, the year, like, passed by, like, we just got, like, closer and closer, and then, like, we basically became, like, best friends in a way, like, super, like, platonic, nothing you know how people say, like, "Oh, yeah, he's my best friend," like, no. He was really, like, a real good friend
Yeah.
of until, like, we just like, once we graduated and then, like, we were going off to community college, he basically just told me, he's like, "Hey, like, I've been really, like, thinking about you and, like, this way, so I wanted to see, like, where you were at, like,
He was
you
ready to step out of that friend zone.
Yeah, he was really, like, stepping out of the friend zone, and I was like, "Let me think about it." I was like, "Let me see if I can, do that," and then honestly, I, like, thought about it, like, only took a night, and then the next day I was like, "Okay, let's try
Yeah.
slowly but surely," and then, here we are, married and with a baby, a one-year-old,
Look at
and
that.
I know, and then the rest is history, honestly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so for everybody that's listening in, Sabrina and I go to the same church and we met at the church and we're actually pretty close and like things have happened. Sabrina, when did you and Robert get married?
We got married in 2020 in December.
Yeah. And so my
It was
husband
like
and I got married in March of 2020. Sabrina got the bulk of COVID. I got like the week before, so that was
it
right on
was
the line.
crazy.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a week before. It was on my honeymoon where everything closed. And that stressed me out. So I don't know how you did it with COVID and all those things. How was that for you?
Well, honestly, it was an outside wedding, so, people had, like, the 6
Yeah, it was better.
type of thing, and even outside, like, people wore their masks if they wanted to, like, if they felt comfortable. Some people had it on, some people had it off, but, and it was like, my wedding was super intimate, like, super, like, close friends and family, like, a couple, like, friends, maybe,
Yeah.
like, a few acquaintances, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, like, it was honestly, I loved around when I had my wedding because, like, it was way cheaper during COVID, like, not gonna
Oh,
way
everybody's like, come on, please. We need the
yeah,
business.
like, and it was on a
Yeah.
Tuesday, and I'm like
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I look back and I kind of wish I would have had a more intimate wedding. You get
yeah.
so stressed out with all the details. Well, anyway.
Oh,
And
no.
then you have a bunch of people, some people don't show up and you kind
I
of did
had a
all
whole
this.
people not show up.
Yeah.
Imagine
It's
when I literally went onto the dance floor and I saw that empty table, I was like
you have a mix of like
like,
anger, but also like, oh,
"I'm trying
let's
to
just
be
get through the day.
happy, it's my day."
I know, whatever. And so we are really closing in our wedding like year. And then we both have a baby, or now a toddler.
Yeah,
So
great.
Sabrina has a beautiful baby girl, and I have a son, and I think they're what, 4 months apart. So
I
Ezra was born August 31st,
and
and
mine was born December 31st.
look at that, exactly. Like, what is that, 4 or 5 months apart? So, um, I remember when Sebastian and I told you and Robert that we were gonna have a baby, and it was at church in like a field. I don't know what we were doing. It was some kind of
And it was just, I don't know,
activity.
I think you guys were picking up. It was like
Yes.
the end of
And I
something.
was like, babe, I really want to tell them. And then he's like, go tell them. Like, no, 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 but we need to do it together. And then I remember like, hey, can you guys come over? And we had just started hanging out more and spending more time
Yeah.
together. And then I don't know who said it. Maybe Sebastian's the one that kind of said it. And then it was, you guys were so excited for us. So that was really nice.
I know, that was so super excited. I was like, "Oh my God." It's like,
And then 4 months later, wait, no, yeah, I guess 4 months later, you called
yeah.
us on FaceTime. Okay, you tell me how that happened, and then I'll share my
Oh my God,
reaction.
yeah, no, it's crazy. So actually found out I was pregnant in May. I was actually on a cruise when I first found out. I like it was May 1st, and I was like, I was like, my period still hasn't come.
Something's off.
Something's off because I was very like, every month on the first it came. So I was like, okay. And then I waited. I was like, you know what? Let me just wait until the end of the day. Nothing. The next day, May 2nd happened. I was like, wow, I still don't have it. And then mind you, we're on a cruise and we're getting to Mexico. And I was like, I think I'm just gonna have to buy a test just in case. You never know. Like, and then we go to like one of those like local souvenir shops for it just so happens that it had like pregnancy tests. So then we buy one, I go to the bathroom, and it literally said embarazada. I was like, and it was
It's
like in Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah. And I was like,
For those of you that don't speak Spanish, that says pregnant. That
pregnant.
means pregnant.
And then I was like, and then I literally come out of the bathroom like
What was Robert's reaction to that?
Robert was like, he was like, no way. And I was like, I was a little upset because I was like, just got to Mexico. I was like, I was really looking forward to like ceviche, like some margarita.
Yes.
Like, I was like, now I have to drink water, Coke. And it was the second day of the cruise, and we still had 3 more days. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh gosh. So whatever, the cruise passed, and then we were thinking about like, oh, okay, like who do we tell? Like who do we tell, like kind of like in order. So obviously
Mm-hmm.
we told his parents, my parents first, then like some of our friends. And then I was like, no, we have to tell Alex and Sebastian. Like we have to tell them, like, oh, and I was just like, okay, let's just FaceTime them. So then, and mind you, I already had like my sonogram or ultrasound picture
Yeah.
with me. So then we get on the call, and then he was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like Robert.
Sebastian just answered. Yeah. It was Robert and Sebastian talking.
Yeah. So then Robert was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like obviously they were catching up, and then Robert was like, "Oh, how do you think about a play day soon?" And then
And Sebastian was like this. Huh. And I'm
"Hmm."
like, I'll play it. I got so
Yeah,
I think
of course you got
I'm
it.
pretty sure I screamed, but Sebastian, it took him a second. I'm like, babe, they're pregnant. And he's like, oh yeah.
And then we showed the picture.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was really
Oh,
special.
yeah, that was crazy.
And
Yeah.
look at us now. I have an 18-month-old. How old is Brielle?
14?
14 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
14 months. Yeah.
And we are busy. We have our hands full.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God.
So, well, maybe tell me a little bit about after you found out you're pregnant, how was your pregnancy? How did you feel?
Okay,
And
so
then how you're feeling now.
oh
So,
no. Okay, so yeah, no, for my pregnancy, when I first found out, I was like, oh my gosh, now I can eat whatever I want, do whatever I want because I'm pregnant. But honestly, that's something I don't recommend for anyone to do
yeah.
because I would literally took it like at 100%. I was literally like eating whatever I wanted. I didn't really walk as much as, I should be. And not that I say like I had a really bad pregnancy, but I was just very tired,
Hmm.
very sluggish. Like I
I
was,
don't think you understand how tired it makes you until you go through it.
Yeah,
It's
but
another
then
kind
to
of
add on
tired.
the fact that I had a really like bad diet and like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really exercise as much, like maybe towards the end of my pregnancy is when I actually got like the yoga ball and I started doing
Mm-hmm.
stretches. But it's better to start off like in the beginning and to kind of create that routine, which I didn't. But so I went through the pregnancy and I ended up having to get induced because at my 39-week appointment I ended up having like high blood pressure and they checked it twice.
Mm-hmm.
So checked my high blood pressure, my blood pressure, it was like at 145 or something. And they're like, for pregnant people, that's a tad high. They're like, let's check it again after like 10 more minutes. So after 10 minutes, they check it again. It's still high. So because of that, apparently, I guess I kind of fall into the I guess to the like the category I'm like I'm able to get induced at 39
Mm,
weeks
yeah.
because of like the precursors of preeclampsia, I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to meet my baby. So
Mm-hmm.
then I honestly thought like induction was gonna be like, oh, quick, cool, like I
Yeah.
go to the hospital and do all these things. And no, I literally get admitted. They slip like a little pill under your tongue, like to kind of start the I honestly forgot how that happened. To kind of start the process of like laboring and stuff.
Yeah.
They manually like broke my water and all that. And that took like a few days. I mind you, I was
I
in the
remember.
I got admitted like the 29th. And remember, Bria was born on the 31st. So it took
Jeez.
a couple days for like things to like kickstart. Like I ended up being like at 4 centimeters for like a lot of hours. Then I got to I
And
think
were
it
you actively feeling contractions during
I
this, or when
was,
did they
I was.
start?
I think they started, I want to say after like the 4 centimeters.
Mm,
They started around
yeah.
that time. And then so then yeah, I got to 7 and like nothing was budging. And then finally I get to 9.5. Not even like I still had like a little sliver of that to get to the 10 centimeters. And they're like, let's try pushing. I'm like, okay, like doctor says we can try pushing, let's push. So we tried pushing and like nothing's happening. And you can tell like in the baby monitors, it was like you could tell like the baby was in distress because the
That's the
water already
worst.
broke. I know
Hmm.
the water already
When you
broke.
see that and you're, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, no, like, she's coming, but like she's not she's not coming
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
way she's
We're like
supposed
stuck
to.
here. Yeah.
Exactly. So at the end they called for an emergency C-section. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And I'm there. They're giving me the local anesthesia like from the hips down. Robert's getting suited up.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then out of nowhere, okay, like I'm on the table, and then out of nowhere, like they begin cutting and all that. And then I'm like starting to feel like some feeling down there.
My gosh.
And it wasn't like it didn't hurt, but I just felt like a lot of like movement in my my stomach, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then at one point it started to sting a little. So
Wow.
I was just like, and then I had to turn over to like the anesthesiologist intern, and I was like, hey, I think it's wearing off, like I'm starting to feel whatever's down there. So they're like, okay, like unfortunately we're just gonna have to put you down like under like fully asleep and in order to get the baby out. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So
Knock me out, please.
yeah, I was like, not it's fine. But then also I felt bad because
Oh,
it's like Robert couldn't be in the room anymore.
oh, that's
They
right.
had to tell
So
him.
as soon as you actually went fully down, that's when they're saying, okay, you can't be in the room anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then okay, so then they ended up, putting me down. And then from what Robert tells me, like the C-section, normally C-sections are supposed to take 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It took 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
because, once they cut me open and they're trying to get to the uterus, they said it was like there was like, I had a lot of like adhesions and just like a lot of scar tissue from like a previous surgery that I had. And then in in while, trying to get Brielle out of my uterus, what's that called? They accidentally nicked my bladder. Which honestly, I was like, it happens, whatever. And like I can see why it ended up being like complicated. But they nicked my bladder. I was like, ooh, when I heard
yeah.
it's like, damn, it's okay.
So was Robert the one that told you when you woke up, or did the
Yeah,
doctor
so
tell you?
yeah,
Rob?
like
Okay.
yes, they told like as soon as everything happened, they closed me up. they told my mom and Robert of like what happened. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
so long than the normal 30 minutes. Um, so yeah, then that happened. And then when I finally woke up, she was actually born 9:01. I woke up like around 11:30 from the
Well.
anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
So and I remember like the minute I started waking up, I was like, "Where's the baby?"
Yeah, because that's all you want. All you want next to
Yeah,
you.
and he was like, "No, don't worry, babe, like, rest, like, she's fine, she's with the baby nurses, she's getting checked up and all that stuff." So then I was like, "Okay," so then it was just like, once I got into, like, the postpartum ring, and I was, like, starting to come out of it, I finally was able to see her. I wasn't able to carry her, though,
Mm-hmm.
that, um because of the surgery.
Yeah.
I was still a little, how do you say, I wasn't able to carry her.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. Honestly, throughout that whole experience of the induction and the C-section and then after, I was trying not to I was trying to be those people. I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. Like, let's just do it, whatever. Like, I was trying not to be a problem because like whatever was happening was already a problem.
Yeah.
So I was just like, "Oh, no, like, don't worry, it's all good." Like, I was trying to be, like, a good trooper, and
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, like, after, like, me waking up and then feeling the pain again of, like, the C-section and then, like, everything else, and, um
And for the bladder, was it did they have like another incision? Was it through the
no,
C-section?
it was actually, like, they ended up bringing on, once the bladder was nicked, I actually saw, like, my medical records, and I literally read through all that.
Exactly what
They
happened,
said
yeah.
that they brought in, like, a urologist and his
Mhm.
to kinda, like, look at the bladder and, like, suture it all up, like, to kinda, like, make sure that, like, there's no leakage or anything.
Yeah,
And then once that was done, then the general surgery and the OBs
and
were
then
like,
they close
"They
everything up.
they closed
Okay.
everything up," like, so that was good, and then my incision's good as of right now.
You are a trooper. You are
I
a
know,
hero.
and then I was thank you.
My gosh.
Then I was, like, on, like, like, the catheter, like, the Foley catheters for
Yes.
a month. Normally, they take it out, like, right after.
Yes.
I was
Wow, a
on there for, like,
month.
about a month because of the
And then
bladder,
on top of that, you have a newborn
and
baby
then I have a newborn baby, which is
and you're
kinda hard.
tired, you don't have sleep. You already
Exactly.
have pain from the C-section. Jeez, man.
When I got out of the hospital, I feel like that was kinda, like, my moment of, like, "Oh my god, all this just happened to me because
Mhm.
I'm, like, either, like, numb or I was kinda like, "No, I just want the baby out, I want the baby out.
Yeah.
What happens, I don't care what you do to me, like,
Yeah.
just do it so I can, like, bring out this baby."
Yeah.
Um, and then, like, I remember, like, as soon as I got into the car and I started leaving the hospital, it was kinda like when everything started kinda, like,
Mhm.
rushing back, and I was literally crying on the way home. I was like
Yeah. It's
I was like,
so
"Oh
your
my
body goes through so
goodness."
much and you went through something. Wow.
But honestly, I was like, I told her, I was like, "I wouldn't change anything that happened because at the end,
Mhm.
this is, like, our story, and, like, this is, like, how Brielle came, and, like,
Yeah.
wouldn't want it any other way. Like, she's
Mhm.
healthy, she's beautiful, she's cute, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
it is what it is at the end of the day."
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't think people realize how much the the um, the women's body goes through, whether you have a C-section or a natural birth or whatever it is. It's all incredibly valid and your body just has to literally like rip apart in some way or another to
Literally.
bring this little baby to the world.
I know, it's crazy. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, "Babe, not gonna lie, I don't think you'd be able to go through this." Um, yeah,
Yeah. I
so
think it's just so uniquely something that women can do or that we have like the capacity to do. And I mean I wanted to give up a few times when I was giving birth and then
yeah, for sure, but, like, the fact that we're able to go through this and, like, to bounce back, like,
yeah.
as if nothing happened, like
And then potentially do it again.
I know, I was, like, thinking about it, I was like, "God, do I really wanna do this?" But
If you if you were to try to have another baby or thinking about it, would you want to do a C-section again or would you try to
I
do
no, yeah, I think we're gonna do, like, a planned C-section because
yeah.
the scar's already there. I'm like, "It's not gonna go away." So, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
probably do a planned C-section, but,
Mhm.
this time, actually do better.
Yeah. And be like, please make sure everything is,
yeah, like, how a little bit healthier, maybe more exercise, you
Yeah, I
know?
get you.
Sometimes I'm just like, maybe that was kinda like a result of what happened. I don't know, but
But it wasn't you. It
yeah,
wasn't, it was just all these situations that were happening, but we do the best we can, right?
yeah, right?
And you're awesome and you did amazing. And look at Brielle. Brielle, if you guys can see her, she is so cute, so adorable. She's like a perfect mix of like Robert, but like she's like the girly girl, like Sabrina. She's beautiful.
Yeah, I know sometimes I'm like, she looks exactly like her dad, like 100%, like, there's no taking that away.
It's like maybe like in the eyes a little bit, or like kind of like
Yeah,
this
or, like,
part.
when he makes, like, little faces.
Yes.
Oh, she has, like, I know she has my one dimple. I have one dimple, and I know that's or, like, her eyebrows, like, I know that's from me. But
She's
everything else
beautiful.
it's her dad, so
It's really cool seeing them start changing because as they get a little bit older, they start looking more either like one or the other. Um, Ezra looks a lot like me, but as he's getting older, he looks more like his dad.
Yes, that's
Um,
what I thought in the beginning when I first saw
yeah.
pictures of I was like, "Alex, that's literally Alex." And then
And
now,
then now, and his
no.
attitude, I mean, a little bit of mix of both of us. Um, awesome. So thank you for sharing that. I think that the point of I wanted to do this episode was to get other, other experiences and know that everybody's story is valid, and our goals are really just to bring these beautiful human beings into the world. And um, some stories are hard and difficult, and we had to do a lot, give up a lot or sacrifice a lot. But the reality is that our babies are here and they're healthy and they're happy. But it's important to talk about how we're feeling or any kind of struggles we might have had, um and feel better about it and just get through it. So thank you for sharing. So I have like a few questions I wanted to kind of go through. We talked a little bit about a few, but um for one, how now that Brielle is 14 months and she's walking and she has a personality and she's growing, how do you take care of yourself when you're starting to feel overwhelmed with like all these changes or every milestone that she's hitting? Or if you don't feel overwhelmed, tell me please, because I do.
Oh, no, yeah, no, sometimes I'm just like the feeling of overwhelming is like under you
Yeah.
know? Um I don't know, I just feel like with Brielle, like, specifically, like, now that she's, like, a little bit more active and, like, the baby gates are on, like, the locks on the cabinets are on, I have to make sure, like, every door in this house is closed because then she'll go into the bathroom and stick her hand in the toilet. Yeah.
Wait
Um,
until she figures out how to unlock it because that comes in
oh
like 18 months.
my god, yeah, no, I'm just like, "Oh, Lord." And then when that's getting a little bit too much, or like, let's say I'm like doing dishes and she's just crying because she wants me to carry her. Not, and there's someone else in the room, but she just
Hmm.
wants me to get carried. Um, I literally had to kind of like do a timeout
Yeah.
and ask like either my husband or my dad who actually lives with us. I'm like, hey, can you kind of just like, take care of her for like a
Yeah.
while I go to the bathroom like by myself.
Yeah. By myself.
Now
Yep.
she knocks on the door, or she wants
Hmm.
to come inside the bathroom with me. So it's like even like just kinda like tapping out for like 5 minutes, like
Yeah.
probably the only thing that I'll probably
Have you
do.
have you done like the public restroom
No.
experience? I haven't. I'm scared of being alone and having to go to the restroom and bring my kid with me.
I
And
always have someone with me. I'm like, "Hey, can you
yeah,
help me come and help?"
yeah,
Or like yeah, no, I'm just like I'm a little too scared, especially if I go to like places where I know the bathroom is not up to par.
yes,
I
yeah,
literally would tell like my friend or whoever's with me, I'm like, "Let's go to the car. Let's go to
yeah,
the trunk," and just kinda like,
yeah. I know I do the same thing. I'm like, why am I gonna struggle?
yeah.
Especially I know if they had like an intense diaper, and I'm like, I don't want to do this
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
public restroom. I'll just go to the car.
exactly. I'm like, "No, we're not doing that today. Mm-mm." I don't think I've done the whole, like, taking my baby by myself, like, let's say to, like, a Target or, like
Hmm.
I haven't done that. Like, it's always been me and Robert,
Yeah,
because just in case something does happen, I have someone with me.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done it a few times, but it's a quick in and out. I tried
Freaking
time and I'm like, I don't think you're gonna have a diaper right now. Let's go.
yeah.
And it's been okay, but it's only been a few times. So I try to go with someone else too.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Because who
I don't
wants to deal with that in the
yeah,
middle
no,
of Target?
yeah, and then now she's, like, at the point where she doesn't wanna be in that little seat
Yes.
in the car. She wants to,
Hmm.
like, run around and walk and do all these things, but I'm like, "I can't."
You
If I'm
start thinking maybe those parents with the leashes, they were thinking of something, you know?
no, yeah, I bought one. I bought one.
Send it to me. I was thinking about buying
Yeah,
one for
no,
Ezra because,
we're
geez.
traveling next week, so I'm like, "No, like, she needs to I want her to have the freedom of w to walk, like, wherever, but, like, near us, and I don't want her to run off either."
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Even if I do look weird,
Who
like, I'm gonna
cares? Your baby's safe and you're less stressed because you're running around.
like, at least I have a leash."
I used to judge those parents. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I know, that was me too. I was like, "Ugh," I was like, "Oh, I don't think that looks good," but here I am buying that, and now I'm gonna use it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm
And
gonna use it
you do that.
proudly.
um so now we talked a little bit about, taking care of yourself. So what would you say is like something that maybe you do just for you in like your day to day, even if it's small or something that you put into your routine that you really enjoy?
At least for me, what I love to do, I mean, maybe it's not like an everyday thing, but it's kind of like I'll pick a day where I would do like, an everything shower.
Mm,
I tell Rob, I'm like, hey, babe, I'm gonna be gone for like 45 minutes, an hour. Like, I need you to take care of Braille.
yeah.
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
And he's like,
Because you
yeah,
have to.
yeah. I'm like, okay. And then that's where I do like the whole like everything shower. Like I wash my hair twice, shave, do all that body scrub, whatever, body oil, do all that. And that's pretty much the only thing that I'll probably do, like at least for me, or
Yeah.
obviously like work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
after like it's been already a year and some, I stopped breastfeeding like at 6 months. So obviously, like once like the milk went away and like kind of like the baby weight went away, I was like, now it's time to get back on it,
Yeah.
get back into the routine of like working out because I didn't really do it during my pregnancy. So
Yeah.
I'm like literally like
And
three,
start feeling like yourself again.
yeah,
It's been a struggle of mine, I think, getting back into the things that make me feel like how I was before, like working out or doing certain things. I'm trying. I'm getting there, but
no, yeah,
um
taking it day by day because
yeah.
like at first I was like, oh my God, this is super hard. I don't even want to do this right
You
now.
feel like so weak because your body doesn't move the same.
Yeah,
Like your
exactly.
abdomen is not strong. You don't have a strong core. It's
Yeah, and
hard.
it's weird too, and it's just like I've never felt this ever before, and then now feeling it and like seeing the changes, it's like it's weird, but then also it's just like, you know what? Like I made a baby, like
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
like,
I can
I'm
if I made a baby, I can work out right now and I can get through it. I say,
uh,
I went through some pretty intense contractions. I can get through a lot.
yeah, exactly. And it's just like there's no timeline. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's always time for you to like work out or for you to like
that's
do
good.
like, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm trying not to like put so much pressure on myself either, even though I sometimes I do look in the mirror and I'm like,
I
those
feel that. Yeah.
don't fit the way they used to, like, my
Hmm.
pre-pregnancy stuff are, like, in the top of my closet, and sometimes I look at them, I'm like, "I don't think I'm ever gonna get there."
Yeah.
It's different, like,
I think I got rid of a few of mine because
I think I'm gonna have to
I
donate to Goodwill.
but I, I feel like I started to feel bad about not getting there instead of saying, "Hey, I think my body's just changed the way you know, it looks and whatever curves I have here and there now. And if I'm a size up, I'm just gonna, it's okay."
Yeah, size up.
Um,
Like,
but
it's a quote, it's like, "Don't let" what is it? "Don't let the clothes wear you, you wear the clothes," or something
hmm
like that, so instead of me trying to fit into, like, a size 8, which I
yeah.
was way before pregnancy, like, I'm not,
Hmm.
like, double digits
Yeah.
like,
And it's okay.
it's okay.
I think also there's a point of like Ezra runs around, my son runs around a lot, and I don't want to get tired chasing him. It's like a personal like I want to feel better. Maybe
Exactly.
not hit a certain, I don't know, weight or a size in my pants, but
You wanna feel
actually
good for your kid.
yes, yeah. I mean, now you have someone that depends on you. So
Exactly.
that's a really good one. Thank you. Okay, so tell me, have you had like a mom hack? Like something that you do, it could be like small thing from diaper changer. I don't know, something that helps you as a mom, like a mom hack.
Oh my gosh, I was actually talking to my husband, Robert, about, like I was like, "What? what mom hack do we like? What parent hack, let's say, like, do
Yeah.
we have for Brielle? Because it's like, I don't know, like she's an easy baby, but at the same time, it's like nothing satisfies you. Like I don't know what to do.
Yep.
But I know for one thing that like, let's say if she's like crying hysterically, like I know if I give her strawberries, it's like nothing has
She's
happened.
fine.
And I recently got this Miss Rachel doll that was sold out for like a couple weeks. I finally got it on Amazon, and honestly, best thing
She
ever.
loves it.
She literally like she'll be crying, but then once I turn it on, like she'll stop in her tracks and then she'll kind of listen to
Oh.
what the song is saying. And it's like I said, as if nothing has ever happened. And also like toys. Yeah, she has her toys, but she likes like household items. Like
Yes, they like the most
yeah,
random things.
exactly. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy you toys. I'm just gonna give you like a spatula and that's it.
And they'll love
Because
it.
yeah, and they'll love it.
Have you seen those babies where like the parents are just like choose between the toy and it's like the most colorful toy on the left and then it's just like a spoon and they always go for like the spoon or the remote. Ezra loves the remote
Yeah.
control. Oh my gosh.
If it's either my phone or the remote control, she wants one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
And especially
And
if
they
I'm
learn. They're like scrolling.
yes, yes. And I'm just like, and now when like let's say if someone FaceTimes me, she knows the sound of the FaceTime like sound.
Yeah.
So she knows when someone's trying to FaceTime and she'll grab my phone and run away. She'll grab my phone, run
So
away.
cute.
And I'm
When you
like,
were out of town and we went to go pass by and have lunch with Robert,
yay,
she was FaceTiming you. She ran like right back to the living room and she was
right?
just I think she
No,
was like mumbling and babbling and looking at you like she knew you were, talking to her through the phone. They're smart.
yes,
They're
I know. And I'm just
it's a
like,
good and like a bad
I know
thing.
it's just bad and scary thing. I'm like, we really can't underestimate these kids. Like they pick on like they're like sponges. Like it's
They
true.
are like
Um,
sponges.
I'm just like,
They're looking at you and they want to repeat it.
no, yeah, for sure.
Ezra, he when I was starting to because I work from home with him at times and he wasn't sleeping for a few months and we would both get very frustrated. So sometimes I would just like grab a pillow and just kind of like scream into the pillow and then just go back to him. Until one day he saw me scream into the pillow.
Oh my goodness.
And then I know afterwards I felt a little mom guilt. I'm like, damn it. But at least I didn't scream at him. So
Yeah.
we're making progress. And a few days ago, he was frustrated. So I see him walk over to the couch, grab like a couch pillow, and just slam his head on it and scream. I'm like,
Oh.
dang, this is me. Like, I'm sorry. At least you're not screaming at me. But now he does like that, or he does like this really high pitched shriek when he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah.
And I think negotiation is the only way. I have to be like, do you want cheese? Yes. Okay, come and sit down. I don't know if that's good or bad, but at least it prevents a tantrum.
Honestly, no, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do because now, like with Brill being 14 months, is when she's starting to do that whole like tantrum thing of like if it doesn't go her way, like she will literally go on the floor and start screaming, crying. Mind you, I'm like the only one who witnesses, and then when I tell other people, they're like, she has never done that with me. I'm
Why is
like,
that? Why is that a mom thing? Because it's the same thing with my parents.
yeah, and
As
I'm like, I can show you the ring footage because
you
it's
don't know her, but I do.
um, like you think you know her? No. I'm like, she really I don't know, it's just like every day is like super crazy with her, but it's also super fun because it's like it's like I can't even get mad at you getting like
Hmm.
tantrum because it's hilarious. I'm like you trying to just figure it out. I'm
Yeah.
like it's
It's
crazy that we were once like this and now look
and I'm
at us.
like, I would think back to my mom and I'm like, Mom, thank you. You started appreciating.
You're a real one.
Yeah, you're a real one. Um, it's just when Ezra, I think he did a tantrum, like at a store
Oh my God, in public.
in public, and I just kind of looked down at him, and I'm not gonna yell you in public, and I'm not gonna drag you out. I'm like, just if you need to just get through this, get through it. Um, but he does this fake cry where he's like, there's not one tear coming down his eye. He's
But
just
he's just
like
white.
whining, but really high pitched that it starts like bothering you because it's like so high pitched. And he will look at you And if you don't tell him anything, he'll stop and he'll forget it. But if you say what's wrong or you give him like some, he just immediately, then he'll start crying.
Oh, you start acknowledging
So
it.
he, I don't know, babies are funny, and now that they're toddlers, they have an attitude and a personality, but they're learning, like you said, like they're just exploring the world. So you have to just catch up with them, I think.
Yeah, I literally just let her do her, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah,
Do it.
we have to survive one way or another. Okay, so what would be, you think, the funniest like parenting experience you've had? Like one that you look back and you're like, that was so maybe embarrassing, funny, I don't know, but that just now you're like you can laugh about it.
Funniest parenting moment? Oh my gosh. I feel like I have yet to like parent. You know how they're like, oh,
Hmm.
we gotta parent her, or we have to.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm like, no, she doesn't do that yet. Doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I feel like the funniest moment as parents is
Yeah.
just kind of like witnessing like your child do something for like the first time or
Oh,
something,
that's the
or if
best.
he
Hmm.
like finally catches on, like, okay, so like there's this a song from like Miss Rachel that she's like, where's your head? And then I literally see Brielle go, she'll literally touch her head. And then I'm
Yep.
like, oh, where are your ears? And then she'll touch her ears. I'm like,
You're so proud, right? You're like,
she's a
yes.
genius. She's a
You're a genius. Yeah.
baby genius. So she'll do things like that. Or like, oh, if I make a face of like someone saying uh-oh, she'll say uh-oh. Like things like that. I'm like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And I even like I kind of teach her like tricks and I tell everyone, I'm like, look at my party tricks. So that I'm like, oh, Brielle, like I said, if like, oh, if I show her this face, she'll be like, uh-oh.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
now she's starting to kind of giggle and put her hand on like over her mouth. So she'll go, hee 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 hee. And I'm
That's
like,
so cute.
crazy. I'm like, girl, you're a genius. I'm just, you're a prodigy.
It's so cool because like you can see the difference between girls and boys because Ezra does like a laugh, but he does like a guy laugh. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like
Like,
it's
ha ha ha.
yes, like that. And he just like goes like
Like to
moving his shoulder.
himself.
Yes. And then the Brio does this. It's so cute. You can see their
Right?
characters forming.
Oh my
It's
gosh, I know.
beautiful.
It's like, I'm like, you're so cute. I'm like, I can't even, like, I can't complain. Like, I really can't complain.
I know. And then she's like, dang, is it time to have another one? We'll see. I don't know.
I was literally telling Robert, I was like, because initially I don't know what kind of like I don't know why I had a thought about this of like me wanting two under two, but
Hmm.
like I had a weekend where my sister was out of town and she wanted to leave her. Obviously, it was like their Valentine's Day weekend or like their anniversary weekend. So I was like, sis, don't worry. I'll take care of the baby for the weekend. You go have your weekend. Don't worry. She's covered. And this was when her baby was 4 months.
Hmm.
My baby was, where was she? I think it was like 6 months or something. I don't even know. But they were still little babies. Like Brielle was still drinking breast milk. Um, Oh my God, that weekend was the most, it was literally the worst weekend of life because it was like one night, it was like one baby was screaming, and because that baby was screaming, the other one woke up. So me
Oh
and
my,
Robert were literally tag teaming. I was like,
you
babe,
take one, I take one.
exactly. And I was like, I don't think I could do this. I was like,
And your sister's a twin, so your mom had you both like
yeah. And
managing you
I
both.
even asked like my mom and my dad, so I'm like, how did you do it? And they're like, we just did it. Like, thank God it was just it was us two and not just like
Yeah,
a parent because that would have been
that's
crazy.
tough. Yeah, I think you need that. You need
That
like support somewhere.
exactly. So I'm just like, I was like 202, not for me, at least not right now. Like we've already agreed that like we really want to enjoy Brielle.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, until I guess like, until she starts school, like maybe like when she turns 4, maybe we'll start trying. I don't know. Like we'll see what happens. And also like I want to be like financially good to have
yeah.
another baby because already
It's
like
so expensive.
it is everything's so expensive. It's like
Hmm.
you need like look now, like her 12-month clothes don't fit her. And
Every day you have to be like
ex-
upgrading something,
exactly. So,
and
like
diapers are so expensive.
exactly, like, everything's expensive, so it's just like, we'll see where we're at, like, once we
Yeah.
get to the point where Brielle's going to school, because
Yeah.
I'm cool now. I'm cool.
Yeah. We have our hands full. And I think it's valid to just want to spend time with your firstborn and
Exactly.
and really enjoy them. When people ask me, are you gonna have another one? I'm like, are you gonna carry it for me? Are you gonna raise it? If so, I mean, if I'm
But
gonna do it, then it's whenever I want.
no, yeah.
um, awesome. So I think we can wrap up a little bit with this last question. So you can rest and enjoy your night. But the last question is, if you could tell any mom listening to us right now, one thing, it could be like from your experience, advice, anything that you would want somebody to hear, what would you say?
Um, I guess from, like, my experience up till now, as cliche as it sounds, like, it really does get better. Like, some people have, like, a really bad, like, newborn stage, or, like, breastfeeding is hard, like, and for sure, like, trust, like, I've been there, done that. But, like, as they grow older, like, it really does get better, like, you'll get your sleep back one way or another. Like, now is
Yeah.
when we're officially starting to get, like, our full night's rest, like, I really can't complain that, like, I'm tired because my baby sleeps through the night right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just, like, but then also, like, every baby's different, but you just have to kinda see, like, the light at the end of the tunnel, and then, like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be a baby forever, you know? And yeah, like, that's what I told my sister the other day. I'm like, "Girl, don't worry, it gets better." She's like, "Once they start walking, it's gonna get better, and, like, once she starts, like, talking or, like, saying words, it's gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be more fun." Like
Yeah. I agree. I think that we try to rush a lot, or we're like too preoccupied. Oh my God, this is really bad right now, which I mean, it is bad or it's
like,
this
you
suck or
feel like the fact that you're in the trenches, that you're gonna be in the trenches forever.
forever.
No,
Yes, that's not the case. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they're gonna grow, and they're gonna grow up, and then they're still gonna start walking, talking, singing, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then
Yelling.
yeah, and then before you know it, they're gonna be 18 and, like, going to college, like,
Mm-hmm. Time really does
and
fly.
you were worried about the newborn stage. I'm like,
I know.
don't
I
worry, it gets
know.
better."
So good. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Thanks for being here with us and chatting a little bit about your experience and just talking to me tonight and taking some time to hang out. Maybe we'll come back when our babies are learning to potty train.
I know,
That's something I'm gonna be working
so
on soon.
scared.
So
We
that
actually
would be
had, our friend's mom, like, gift us a potty, like, a little potty, but it's still, like, up in our closet, like,
yeah,
it's
I need to get one.
yeah, like, she sees it and she'll, like, pick it up and, like, kind
Mm-hmm.
of put around. So I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
you're ready
You're not
for it.
ready.
We're not ready for it, so we're just gonna put it away until we feel like maybe you're ready for it," but as of right
Yeah.
we're good. We're
Yeah.
good with that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks again, Sabrina. And thanks everyone for listening. Let us know what you thought or if you want to share any of your experiences as parents, as a mom. We'd love to hear. Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Sunny Days and Diapers. I hope today's episode brought a little sunshine and realness to your journey in motherhood. Remember, whether today feels like a sunny day or a diaper day, you're not alone and you're doing an incredible job. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out our next chat. And hey, if you know a mom or dad who could use a little encouragement, share the love and pass this episode along. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out on at Sunny Days and Diapers on Instagram. Your stories, your thoughts, they mean the world to me and my husband, and they help make this community stronger.